Welcome to Blueprints for Brilliance Coaching Insights, a podcast by coaches for coaches. Our guests share their hard-won wisdom to help you grow your coaching business and create a life of success. So get ready to unlock the blueprints to your success. Welcome, everyone, to our newest episode. We are so excited. We have someone all the way from Switzerland joining us today. She's a special lady. She's going to talk to us about energy. We need some energy today. And her name is Cornelia Kawann. Thank you so much for joining us today, Cornelia.
Thank you so much for having me. And it's such a pleasure coming all the way to the US, even just virtually. But my energy is all there.
Yes, it is. It's so funny because Jeanne has been here in Florida with me for 10 days. And she flew home last night and her family had just got in town. So she's flying home to a house full of guests. And so when we saw your energy coaching, we were like, oh, we need this today. So it's like perfect timing. So we've never really talked to someone who defines themselves as an energy coach. Can you tell us how you got into the field of energy coaching?
Sure. And actually, of course, there's a long story behind it. But even as a child, I was already fascinated by electric energy because you plug in like a mixer or a vacuum cleaner, and then all of a sudden, woo, the magic happens, right? And so I really wanted to figure out what's behind this plug. And so I studied electric engineering. And now I can tell you, I know how electricity comes into the plug. And for a very long time, this was the only energy in my life. And I also figured out how important it is for our social life, because I don't know if you know about the energy crisis in Europe we had the last 2 years. People realized it's not given that we always have electric energy and everything depends on it. But the long story short, in a way, I'm a researcher. So in a way, I read a lot, and then finally I found the quantum field. And this sounds now very scientific, of course, but in a way, it's so easy for me because quantum science, in a way, says everything, including us, everything around, just consists of frequencies and energy. And I, as an electric engineer, just know what a frequency is and what energy means, right? And so it made so completely sense to me. And then I started looking deeper into the whole thing, yeah. And then I found so many similarities between electric energy and our personal energy, because if you think about it, I don't know if you've read about it, but on our cell membranes, we have these millivolts, and if you really have a healthy cell, then it's about minus 70 millivolts. So we have volts in our body. Then our brain, our nervous system, everything functions with milliamperes, with little currents. So if you have a current, if you have voltage in your body, we create electromagnetic field around us. And this is in a way our energy. So I know many people still think it's woo and it doesn't exist because we don't see it. But for me, as an electric engineer, it's so natural that if you believe that there is an electromagnetic field around your phone, why don't you believe that there is an electromagnetic field around yourself if you have currents flowing within? So that's how I got started. And then I figured out, yeah, wait a minute. So if there is this electromagnetic field, why don't everybody is into time management, but why not managing your energy? Because same with this energy crisis, many people in the corporate world experience also this burnout, which means in a way there is no energy at all. And what I figured out is that you can have all the time in the world, but if you don't have energy and you feel miserable, what can you do with all the time? So in a way, my most important currency is my energy. And that's how I got started how can I recharge my own energy, same as my phone, whenever I want it, without like long meditations, just in that moment, right? Because this is actually what counts. And then you can apply that to so many other things. If I have this energetic field around me, many people have problems with saying no. If you set like your energetic boundaries, I noticed that people ask less because they already feel my energy, right? And it's much more difficult for them to approach me and ask for, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? It's more, you set some boundaries also to some people, to some tasks, and makes life so much easier.
I love that. And I love the fact that you are coming to this from a scientific perspective. And I think it's so true, the fact that we can't see energy, but we count on the light flipping on when we hit the switch. We can't see energy in our car, but we count on it starting when we push the button. So we really use energy. We use a lot of things every day that we can't see. I can't see how Zoom is connecting us together to have this conversation, but it's happening. And I believe it's going to happen when I, jump on Zoom. So I think it's so fascinating that you're pointing out the fact that we can't see our energy field, but it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And then I also love the idea of having energetic boundaries, because I do think for me, if I'm out networking and meeting people, some people like their energy is just so inviting, and other people you can almost feel, I don't know if I should walk up to them right now. So I think it's so amazing to think about our energy is communicating with people long before they get to us. So let's talk more about that. That's amazing.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for your question. And in a way, it's so true. There are 2 points in a way. And one thing is, if you imagine you have this energy body around you and you're in a bus or a tube or whatever, it's just logic that this energy is also intermingled, right? Because there is this mixing with ours. So in a way, that's why it's so important in a way to set also energetic boundaries. And even more important, it's also to clean your energy, because we all were taught you need to take a shower every day, brush your teeth. But most people never ever think about cleaning their energy body from all, as you said, from picking up all this energy from other people. And sometimes we feel like energy from others, or we feel all of a sudden kind of, you go somewhere and or you enter a room, then you feel a lot of tension. This is exactly, we feel energy. We can't see it, or most can't see it, but we always feel it. And I think this is so crucial about it, that we connect, we intermingle, but we don't manage our energy and we don't actively use it. And that's what I'm actually teaching.
I love that.
Let's start off with, like, how do you set an energetic boundary?
An energetic boundary, I could show you that there are different exercises, but the easiest is that we can do it right now. You want to try?
Sure. Yes.
Okay. So it starts all with rubbing your hands until they really get warm. So my interviews are always including a little bit of activity.
Love that.
Okay, so now they are warm, and then you separate your hands, and then to the space where you think you want to set your boundaries. Most of the time, like the arm length is very good, so now you don't see it all the way. And then you start up in the head, and you just say, you set a very strong intention. You said, I set my energy boundary here. And then you move down to the head. I set my energy boundary here. Your shoulders, I set it here. Today, I set my energy boundary here, and then it's at my hips, and then with my knees, and then with my feet. And when you really do that, you will feel more protected, and you will feel a difference. I don't know, do you feel something now?
I do. I felt something when we first went with our arms out. It was like, because you are claiming it, like, this is my space.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay, so that's the boundary. How do you clean your energy?
Cleaning your energy in a way, I do it actually every evening before I go to bed. And so it's a little ritual. So and with all the energy exercises, it's always so important to connect it to something you're doing every day. So some I do like by brushing my teeth. Others I do right when I stand next to my bed, because it reminds me before I climb into it, I do this, right? And after a couple of days, it's natural to doing it. And there, in a way, yeah, we can do that together right now. Okay. So you can do it with open eyes, of course, but it's easier the first time if you close your eyes and you connect. And so you connect with your body. And then you just feel in a little bit, or you connect with all the energies and parts that you feel this is not your energy. You don't even need to feel it physically, but you set the intention, I connect now with all the energies that do not belong to me. And then you set the clear statement, I send you right there where you belong. And I don't know if you haven't seen it because you've closed your eyes. But for me, my body, like, it tilts a little bit forward when I start the exercise. And when all the energy is left, then for me, it tilts backwards. And then I know, okay, now it's clean.
Wow. So what did you say? What was the quote that you said again? I want to write it down now that my eyes are open.
Okay.
Yeah. So what did you say to the energy?
The energy said, yeah, please go back where you belong.
Oh, I like that.
Because sometimes, yeah, we're catching up energies from others and they are missing there, right?
At nighttime, when you're clearing out other people's energy, can we clear out our own negative energy, or do we actually have, or do we create negative energy?
I think actually there is no negative energy, because energy by definition is always neutral. But the terms with me meant negative energy is energy when it's somewhere where it doesn't belong. Like you leaving your energy like at a place or at the other person means negative energy for the other person. But your energy is not negative, right? It's just not good for that person. So that's why it's always good to claim back your own energy and send back energy that doesn't belong to you.
Okay.
Okay. So you're not actually like managing your energy. You're just keeping your energy to yourself and giving other people back their energy. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what the exercise. But of course, there are also exercises that you can manage your energy. You can recharge. I can increase frequencies. And the really energy management is what's so important for me is now everybody is in mindset work. And I think this is very positive, really great development. But I tried mindset work, and what I learned is it takes so long, right? It takes, you have this kind of, you're overwriting a limiting belief with a positive belief, and you need to say it for 30 days. And even then there you can fall back. And as an engineer, I'm always driven by optimizing processes, make them more efficient and speed them up. Who has 30 days to clean out a limiting belief? And then I thought, wait a minute. It's just a frequency. A belief is just a frequency. So there must be other ways to remove this limiting belief. And so now, in a way, I can remove a limiting belief like this and can activate a positive one. So it's a matter of minutes. But the real magic of personal energy management is that eliminating a limiting belief, it's just a symptom. It's much, the key is, and that's where the music plays, is to look behind the scenes. Why is this limiting belief in my life in the first place? And go there. And when I really find the cause and dissolve that and everything that is connected with it, then that's when you really change. And it's not about, mindset work is always about becoming a different person. And it's always difficult to become somebody else. But I think it's so much more easier to just solve the cause and in a way eliminate everything that doesn't belong to you and get back to your real you.
That's beautiful. Can you share with us maybe some client success stories, obviously without their names, but can you just, because I can see that your work could impact people in so many different areas of their lives and in so many different ways. So we'd love to hear just some results that some of your clients have had.
Sure. There's one story that really touched me very much, because a client came to me, because many people, they come to me when they tried everything and it didn't work, right? And she was on the edge of on her third burnout, right? And when we were on the Zoom call, I could really see, wow, she looked exhausted. And then she told me why she was in the burnout is, for some reason she had this inner driver. She couldn't stop working. Whenever she was not sitting at her laptop, she felt bad and guilty why she was not working, right? And she tried a lot, but she couldn't get out of this. And then what we did a 45-minute session. And in this session, we went all the way back. I figured out then where the problem came from. It happened when she was 7 years old and had something to do with her dad. So it was nothing traumatic or whatever. And this is actually what the thing is. Most of the time, we don't even need to know what really happened, because it's most of the time something really normal. Somebody's saying something to you, but you interpret it just in a different way. It's a real drama because you couldn't deal with the answer, or you couldn't understand the right meaning behind it. And so also with her, it was something completely banal. And then she said, yeah, but there is nothing dramatic. No, it's just the way you interpreted it. And then we solved it. We managed with her inner child. We removed all the energy blockades and everything around. And it took about like 30 minutes. And then after the 30 minutes, because most of the time when I do the sessions and I close my eyes to concentrate more on the energy of the other person, when I came back, there was a completely new person sitting in front of me. And she said the same, right? She said, when I started the Zoom call, I looked at my picture and I thought, wow, I really look drained and old. And then she looked 10 years younger. You could really can feel her energy. It started flowing and everything. And then we spoke about it. And then afterwards she said, you know what I'm going to do now? And I said, no idea. And she said, I'm going to close my laptop and I'm going out for a walk. And I haven't done that without feeling guilty for, I can't even remember. And then 2 weeks later, because it was shortly before Christmas, then she came and sent me a message and said, her completely life has changed. Yeah, just from this 45-minute session, because now she has more time for her family. And she even lost, I don't know, 2 kilos during Christmas. And she feels so much better and everything was brighter. And that was, yeah, I really love this story.
Oh, that is so beautiful.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Have you ever helped a business owner who maybe had blocks around building their business or certain parts of their business, whether it was sales or technology or the fear of building a team? Have you ever helped a business owner with something like that? Because I would assume that's an energetic thing as well.
Exactly. It's and that's what so many business owners don't know, is that your personal energy, with all your stored emotions, with all your limiting beliefs, is setting the boundaries how far you can grow your business. And that's why so many are stuck with it, because they don't see the connection. And so it's much more powerful to work on your own energy and find out this, why is my business not thriving? Why I'm not having that success? Because most of the time it's traumas, it's events from the past, or it can be even limiting beliefs you took over from your ancestors. They're not even yours and you're not aware of it. So I'm working on that I even studied a new mastermind on it. And we really have really cool results. But I don't have a long-term perspective now because I just recently started on this. But the mastermind I'm running now, we are in the 3rd month of the 4 months. And it has so much changed in the businesses of the participants.
Wow, that sounds fantastic. Will you be running that again?
Yes, I'm planning it for fall.
Okay, for fall. Wow. That sounds like something we might have to check out, Miss Jeanne.
I know, right? So
yes.
It would be fantastic. It would be really fantastic. And you know that this time I did it different, so that everybody comes with a specific business goal you want to reach after these 4 months. And so we worked like all the 4 months on removing all the energy blockades on different levels, because that's just also I would love to share, is that most people are only aware of their physical energy. So many people looking after their nutrition, and they also exercise, you get enough sleep, but it's only the physical energy. And but we also have the energetic energy, emotional energy, mental energy, and spiritual energy. And you need to work on all these levels to really have a holistic healing process, or you solve the problem on a holistic approach. And just for the spiritual energy, because most people then always say, ooh, woo, woo. And here, of course, you can call it differently to make it more, people can accept it. But what I also see here as a spiritual energy is knowing your purpose. And because if you really know why you're here and you love what you're doing, then your own power plant, because it intrinsically will generate so much energy, because it's so much fun what you're doing. Of course, not every day, but in general, right? And that's why, of course, the physical energy is our most fundamental energy, because if you don't feel physically well, it's difficult. But I think the most essential energy is our spiritual energy, because it's so powerful.
Wow.
Yes.
So if people want to learn more about your mastermind, how could they find out more information about you and reach out?
It's all on my homepage, and as I can share the link with you. And it's corneliakawann.com, and there /mastermind, and there you get all the information, and the waiting list for the next one is already out.
Wow, we will definitely put that in the show notes. Do you also work one-on-one with people?
Yes, definitely.
Perfect.
Because the thing is, there are 2 ways. Someone really want to have an express lane, like then I can do one-to-one, because we are all unique. Yeah, so there's always a different energy blocker or whatever. But what I've also learned now in this mastermind is, we call it now even like this energy circle, because when there are more, there is it's creating such a really energetic environment. So when we are together, the work, we all notice it's much faster. Even
Wow.
if, so there is, because this common energy creates so much more. It's this co-generation. And it's so funny because one of the participants last time, she said, I was thinking of not participating because I had such a headache. But she didn't tell us. She told us now afterwards. Then we always make a little ritual, an energy ritual. And she said, you know what? I didn't want to come, but now my headache is gone. And so it's so powerful. Right? And that's what I love about this co-creation.
This is going to be a really crazy question. I know we're supposed to be wrapping up, Jeannie, sorry. But so if we think about our energy fields, so let's say in a mastermind or an energy circle, if a couple of people in that circle really don't need that energy healing because they don't have that issue, does our energy go and help other people heal in that circle?
Yes. And the thing is that if we work on one person, then it also heals other aspects on the other person, right? And maybe you don't have this same thing. And even if you do, so we look like into fears or different emotions, blame, we're looking or forgiving. If one does, then we do like a hot seat, right? And we do that. So for the first one, it's always takes a little bit more time because, and in a way, it's just like when you're on the snowy street and you have the snow blocks, so it's in the front of you. But after the one does the exercise afterwards, it's so much easier because some things are already cleaned out and removed.
It's fantastic.
Wow.
This has been amazing. Thank you so very much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's so much fun. And you can feel I'm really an energy maniac, right?
You definitely have great energy. We could feel that the minute you came on and we were chatting with you before we hit record. You definitely have a fabulous energetic field, and it's so awesome because that makes other people feel good.
Yeah, it's contagious, right? And that's what I really notice. It's like with bad moods, but with positive energy, you can do the same. And that's also a little bit of my mission. Thank you. But thank you so much for giving this back to me.
Oh, thank you.
Certainly. We do have one last question for you, though, is if you could give one tip that could help the world heal, what would that be?
Oh, that's a very powerful question. I think it's your energy is your most important currency, and every second you think, you do, you believe, you're trading your energy for it. So be clear on it, what you use your energy for.
I love
Fantastic. A great way to wrap this up. Thank you so very much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you, Cornelia. This has been amazing and enlightening and just fascinating. So
I enjoyed it so much. Thank you, Kirsten and Jeanne, for having me and sending you lots of energy over and to all the whole audience, everybody who's listening. Please take care of your energy. It's so important.
Love that. Thanks for joining us today on Blueprints for Brilliance Coaching Insights. We hope you're leaving this episode with inspiration to take your coaching business and your life to the next level. If you found value in this episode, we would love it if you would subscribe and share it with someone else who you think might benefit from hearing it. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next episode.